Plus, political candidates for the upcoming by-election expected to be ratified and announced soon. And
he always said, I care for you, and you're my son, and I'm gonna always push you in the right direction.
We take you beyond the wheel as the chauffeur for the late Honorable Obi Wilchcombe opens up about their father-son bond. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Good evening and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. I'm Ramiko Knowles. Thank you so much for tuning in. Topping the news tonight, Grand Bahama's economic landscape is set to receive a major boost with nearly $1 billion pouring in through major investments by Carnival Cruise Line and Norwegian oil and gas producer Livathon Group, the Grand Bahama Shipyard and other projects. On the table, this financial injection signifies a turning point for the island's growth. Our Raven Davis joins us live now with more details.
Celebration Key is a game changer for Grand Bahama.
It was a packed room at the Grand Lucayan Resort, business leaders and other community members immersing themselves in the presentations that centered around the different phases of the Carnival Cruise Line's project for East Grand Bahama. Minister for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Ginger Moxie, says the cruise port, which is the largest project ever undertaken by Carnival, is a testament to the dynamic future that lies ahead for the island of Grand Bahama.
Grand Bahama will be the home of a flagship destination for cruise travel. This means that our island will welcome millions of Carnival Cruise Line passengers each year who have traveled to our shores to immerse themselves in Bahamian culture, our art, food, music, junkanoo, and partake in authentic Grand Bahama experiences and enjoy the warmth of our people. Residents and entrepreneurs, I want to encourage you to think big and think innovation. We have a golden opportunity to reshape our tourism product.
Vice President of Operational Strategy Juan Fernandez forecasting that over the next 18 months, 300 direct positions will become available.
And that ranges from management, finance, lifeguards, guest services, landscaping, security, and everything in between. As we mentioned, the model of the port is such that there's going to be third-party businesses, non-Carnival. They're going to be operating retail, food and beverage, and they're going to generate a ton of jobs as well. So we believe that there will be approximately 1,000 jobs that are going to be working within the development once we sustain the operation.
GBPA Acting Chairman Sarah St. George says the presence of the new Carnival Cruise Port will not only bring vibrant energy to our shores, but will catalyze more investment throughout Grand Bahama.
Will generate employment and bring our Grand Bahamians back home. It marks a significant milestone on our journey towards progress and prosperity.
The site is situated on the eastern end of the island, some 20 miles east of Freeport City. Groundbreaking for the port was held in May 2022, and since then, the excitement about this project has been steady.
All of us are here to welcome the start of their civil works and vertical construction phase. This will take place in tandem with the maritime work from a barge on a 1,600-foot long L-shaped steel pier, a masterpiece of engineering built to withstand the mighty elements of the open ocean using 6,000 metric tons of steel.
Now, as you can see, construction is well underway. Machines are on the ground, and once Celebration Key Cruise Port is completed, at least 18 Carnival cruise ships will be able to sail here from their home ports in 2025 and 2026. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Raven Davis.
Thanks, Raven. Well, all eyes are on the West Grand Bahama and Bimini constituency as a by-election is expected to take place soon. Exactly when, that is yet to be determined. But according to Acting Parliamentary Commissioner Arthur Taylor, the election must take place by November 25th. One thing is clear, nearly 6,000 persons are registered to vote thus far, and that number is expected to climb. Today, 10 aspirants were part of an interview process for the Progressive Liberal Party in the nation's capital. Our Nassau correspondent Desmond Saunders joins us live now with the latest. Desmond.
Well, I'm here at the PLP headquarters, Barrington Road, where several PLP candidates hoping to get the nod of approval as the official PLP candidate for the West Grand Bahama and Bimini constituency in the upcoming by-election. Now, there are some 10 PLP candidates. They're being interviewed today by the PLP's candidate committee. The matter will then go before the National General Council tomorrow for a decision. Several Grand Bahama and Bimini residents are present here today in support of their candidates. If you can look behind me, there are a number of supporters for Shane Gibson, and on my right, there are supporters for Kingsley Smith. Joining me on the broadcast today, I have a resident from Grand Bahama who's in support of Shane Gibson. Why Shane Gibson and why are you out here?
Shane Gibson is a more seasoned politician and experienced member of the Christie administration. He was minister in Christie's administration. The word that Obadiah left in the Brave administration needs a big man to fill that work. And so I am here in support of Shane Gibson.
What is Shane Gibson doesn't become ratified? It isn't the official bearer
Then I think the people of West Grand Bahama and Bimini is going to speak loud, send a message to those who want to give us who they want to give us. We will sit this one out, and it all depends. We might even sit the general one or two. So they better give us who we want, and we want Shane Gibson.
Well, as you can tell, things are heating up for the candidacy for the West Grand Bahama and Bimini. I can tell you that there are 5,682 people registered to vote in that constituency. And so, as I said, things are heating up, and we'll just have to wait and see. But as it stands, 10 aspirants making applications and being interviewed today to be ratified as a PLP candidate for the West Grand Bahama and Bimini constituency. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Desmond. Well, whom will the opposition party choose as its candidate for the upcoming West Grand Bahama and Bimini by-election? That's the question up for grabs as the party's Central Council is meeting tonight at its Mackey Street headquarters to make that decision. Altaviz Mornings is on the Mackey Street with this preview. Good evening, Altaviz. What can you tell us?
Good evening, Ramiko, and good evening, Northern Bahamas. The parking lot here at the Free National Movement's headquarters on Mackey Street in the capital is about to fill up as members of the Central Council are expected to convene here at the top of the hour to begin the ratification process for the West Grand Bahama and Bimini by-election. Now, sources tell our news team that a prominent Grand Bahama clergyman is the top running candidate for the party, but that has yet to be confirmed. We understand that the party, the Central Council, will meet and then they will hold a press conference right after that ratification to announce their candidate for the West Grand Bahama and Bimini by-election on whichever date that's called. FNM leader Michael Pintard had informed the press that the party is very interested in ratifying a candidate and contesting the West Grand Bahama and Bimini by-election that will be held whenever the Prime Minister, the Honorable Philip Davis, is expected to announce that date. We encourage you to stay tuned to the ZNS Network for our coverage of the Free National Movement's Central Council's meeting, where they are expected to officially ratify a candidate for the West Grand Bahama and Bimini by-election. Reporting on Mackey Street in the capital, I'm Altaviz Munnings for the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Back to you, Ramiko.
Thanks so much, Alto. Well, a Progressive Liberal Party former political strategist and campaign manager for the West Grand Bahama and Bimini constituency for decades, weighing in on the PLP's selection process and who he believes would be best as a nominee in the upcoming by-election. Shashina Rowe-Farquharson has more in this report.
Considered a stronghold for the PLP, it's the West Grand Bahama and Bimini constituency that is known to bring the energy at every rally. Back in 2021, it was artist Neely and a group of PLP West Enders who were adamant that for the PLP, it was Obi or nothing.
What happens if Obi Wilchcombe is not named as the candidate?
Obi Wilchcombe will be running for the West End constituency. I can assure you that as I'm sitting in this chair today.
Now fast forward to 2023. 10 PLP aspirants are hoping to get the nod for West Grand Bahama and Bimini after the seat was left vacant due to the death of the area's Member of Parliament, the late Obi Wilchcombe. Neely, who was introduced to politics and was a part of the campaign of West Grand Bahama since 1960, shares the kind of candidate West Grand Bahama is now looking for.
It's one thing that they've always looked for, someone who's going to develop West End and to bring it back to where it was.
With the most candidates vying for the seat in a political party, the race is on to see who will get the nod. After Thursday's interview process, the candidates committee will review and then an announcement will be made on the successful candidate. But the question is, what happens if West Enders do not get their candidate of choice?
Well, that is a question and a response you get in every general election. There is always going to be somebody who says, well, if you don't vote him, I am voting. In some cases, it happens. What you have to be cautious about is how often it is said and how serious the people that are saying it are.
And of all the candidates, here's who he believes should be seriously considered.
Sam Brown, and one of these days maybe Kingsley Smith. But all the others, a waste of time. Now, there is a good man in there that we hope get nominated, and that's Caleb Houghton.
Houghton, a former senator and businessman, fought more than 2 decades to have the Causeway and the West Grand Bahama community elevated. Neely also sharing why this by-election is significant to the PLP.
We are 3 years away now from a new election. We got started off by appearing to lose an election.
For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Shashina Rolf-Farquharson.
Well, since his sudden death, we have heard stories and tributes from many about the life and legacy of the late Honorable Obi Wilchcombe. Tonight, his chauffeur breaks his silence, revealing an emotional father-son bond he shared with the late Minister of Information, Broadcasting and Social Services.
When I brought him back into Grand Bahama, I was broken to know that I am now going to put my minister in the ground. Like, I still can't believe it.
You may recognize him as the young man who chauffeured the late Honorable Obi Wilchcombe, but their relationship ventures beyond the wheel of a vehicle. Garrett DeGregory began working for Minister Wilchcombe in 2017 after the death of his father. Minister Wilchcombe adopted him as a son.
He told me, he said, Garrett, do you even understand why I even chose you? He said, because I care for you and I understand where you're going. And you're going in the right direction because I'm going to push you in the right direction. He filled that void of my father being missing in 2021. That's why me and Minister Wilchcombe were so close.
Whether on the road or traveling through the sky, Garrett served the late minister with excellence.
This was not a regular job at all. It was like I was taking care of a person who I truly cared about. He really was remarkable in my life.
Now, as he navigates life, he finds himself not only without his biological father, but also missing the man who stepped in to fill that void.
He would tell me times and stories that Sir Lyndon would just pass out magazines in the plane when they're traveling abroad and whatever. And then Sir Lyndon would just test them to see if they really read it. They say, Garrett, continue to read. Reading is knowledge. He say, you see me when I get into a funeral or a function, I read the whole bulletin. And that's what I always do. I always listen to a speech, every speech that was made, even his own. And when we get back in the car, he would ask me, did you listen?
As a broadcast journalist, Obi Wilchcombe's career was marked by covering then Prime Minister Sir Lyndon Pinling. Studying Pinling's speeches became a cornerstone of Wilchcombe's professional growth, and he went on to model his own life after the esteemed leader. In similar fashion, the One Love MP ensured that Garrett, under his mentorship, embraced the same approach.
It's unbelievable, and to lose him like that, it's like broken. I feel empty inside.
The Prime Minister, along with cabinet colleagues and others, has extended support to ensure employment and the well-being of Garrett. Despite this, he shares that for now, he's taking it one day at a time. Well, in news from police, officers at the Criminal Investigations Department are busy searching for 22-year-old Antonio Johnson, also known as Montana, for bail violation. Johnson is a resident of number 160 Candlefish Street, Freeport. He stands 5 feet 11 inches tall, slim build, dark brown complexion with brown eyes. If you see this young man, you're asked to call police at 911, the National Crime Prevention Office at 302-8430 or 1, Crime Stoppers at 352-1919, 350-3106 or 9. Family Island residents, please dial 242-300-8476. And when we come back, we focus on a different type of election. This time is the junior local government elections taking place throughout the country. That story, sports, and more when the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, returns.
You asked for it, you've got it. A new plant nursery, fully loaded with everything you need and extended hours. Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturdays, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
The Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture Youth Division Grand Bahama presents its Youth March and Rally October 22nd at 3 p.m. Heading from the C.A. Smith Building parking lot to Independence Park. The Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture Youth Division Grand Bahama invites you to attend its Youth Recognition Awards on Saturday, October 21st, Freeport Bible Church at 6 p.m.
Seagate's really unique in the fact that this is the only place where you can buy any of the brands that are inside of it. We don't carry any major national brands, any big corporate owned companies. It's all small, family-owned, boutique producers, artisanal producers that have exceptional quality and real attention to detail in what they do. The Bahamas is a very expensive market for wine. The cost to import wine is very high. So we wanted to go and find wines that had really, really high value at prices that still translated well once they got here. We pretty much carry almost all dry wines, still fine wines. Different grapes, a lot of them you've never heard of before. Indigenous grapes from different regions. We carry a lot of stuff mostly from Europe, but some South American stuff as well, like Chile and Argentina. But really we focus strongly on the European countries, France and Italy, Austria, Portugal, Spain. Those are our real areas of focus because that's where the values are. Phone number is 825-WINE. Seagate Wines on Instagram, Seagate Wines on Facebook. Just drop by and chat with us.
Health officials announced early on that the curve of the property
and Q. And a fire had erupted at the end.
All of the victims have lost their lives.
#1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. 39 schools around the country taking part in the junior local government elections today. The voting polls were hot and students excitedly marked their X for their favorite candidate and the person who will represent their school and community. Jolanda Thompson-Everest reports.
The Minister of Works and Family Island Affairs, the Honorable Clay Sweeting, visiting schools here on Grand Bahama to witness the voting process for junior local government. Sweeting sharing that this initiative will teach the students the importance of politics in the country.
Government meant to be closer to the people, and how better to do that than to bring it here to the children. You know, the youth of our nation, and we hear it over and over, that the youth of our nation is the strength of our nation. But unless you do or you engage in functions like this, then you really can't help to mold your children. But this here today is just one avenue to do that.
These students revealing some plans that they have prepared if they are selected as the representative for their school.
I'd be happy because I would get the opportunity to fix the school by minor details, like the broken classroom windows, and build a cabana for the students when it rains.
When I do win for the junior local government, I plan to, make a change and do something for my school.
And not only to represent my 12th grade class, but to also represent the school as a whole.
We need to do various smaller projects around the school, beautifying the school and fixing, restoring stuff around the school.
Now, these school administrators say that the voting process has been a lot of work and training, but they are eager to see who will become victorious in the process.
They understood what the process is. The excitement took over, and so they're geared up to see the process take place.
We have fulfilled the government's mandate of starting a succession plan.
With the Local Government Junior Council program, at least it allows some guidelines that can be adhered to in order to assist the students in achieving or working towards what they themselves would personally have as goals that they see for the school.
The process began from 9 a.m. this morning, and the voting process remained open until 3 p.m. The schools will tally the votes once the ballots are closed, and 3 students from each grade with the highest vote will be selected to represent their school on the island. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Jolanda Thompson-Everest.
Your check on sports is up next with Jay Philippe.
Good evening, I'm Jay Philippe, and welcome to sports. I have a whole lot of sports for you. High school volleyball scores, WNBA action in the WNBA finals. But let's begin with soccer at the YMCA. The YMCA GB Soccer Club Youth Soccer Training Session is underway at the YMCA soccer field. The evening training sessions are focused on the development of soccer at a young age.
It's a selection process, and it's 6 and 7, 8 to 10, 11 and 12, under 14 girls, under 14 boys, and under 18 girls. In our men's program, we're trying to infiltrate the high school males into the men's program as well.
Coach Mary Knowles is hoping for more community support for the upcoming season.
This year, we're really trying to go back to having teams on a Saturday. More parents come out when we have teams. We're getting uniforms for both the YMCA program and the girls program. So we're hoping that we can put them into teams. We hope that the schools encourage the kids to come out, because of course that's going to make their school program better, and play on a Saturday, and the parents will come out and watch and cheer their team on.
Switching gears now in sports, call some high school volleyball action at the YMCA. LIS got the win against Tabernacle 17-9 and 17-14 in 2 sets. Now when senior boys play, St. George's was able to be victorious against Tabernacle in 2 sets, 21-13 and 21-6. LIS got the win versus Summit High Prep 21-8 and 21-9 in 2 sets. And Jack Hayward eliminated Sunland in 3 sets after dropping the first, coming back to win set 2 and 3, 21-19 and 15-12. And finally in sports, Jonquil Jones and the New York Liberties hope for a ticket back to Las Vegas, and a decisive Game 5 on Friday night turned into a crushing 70-69 loss in Game 4 to a depleted Aces squad. The Aces still managed to earn back-to-back titles, the WNBA's first repeat champs in 21 years, as they rallied from a 12-point second-half deficit. Jones finished the game with 6 points, 11 rebounds, and 3 blocks in her final game of the season.
Ladies and gents, that's a quick check on sports. I'm Jay Philippe. As always, be blessed.
New this month at Island Bedding and Furniture. 5- and 7-piece dining room sets. Gorgeous natural wood dining tables and bench sets in mango, acacia, or shisham wood. And your pick of additional chairs. All new living room pieces, including sectional, TV stands, accent tables, and more. For the bedroom, we're all about platforms, unbelievable prices, and no box spring required. Come on down to Island Bedding and feast your eyes on prices you have to see to believe.
Introducing our sizzling deal of the season. Sink your teeth into delicious piping hot Pizza Hut pizzas layered with your favorite toppings. Order 2 large one-topping pizzas for just $27.70. Call Pizza Hut Freeport at 352-9191 to order now. Available for carryout and delivery. 352-9191. Your taste buds and pocket will thank you. Only available at Pizza.
Hi, I'm Wes. I like to put some shoes on your feet.
Hi, I would like to put some shoes on your feet.
Hi, I want to put some shoes on your feet.
I want to put some shoes on your feet.
Hi, I want to put some shoes on your feet.
Let us put shoes on your feet.
John West Shoes is now open. Carmichael West, Nassau, behind Wendy's.
The Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture Youth Division Grand Bahama presents its Youth March and Rally October 22nd at 3 p.m. Heading from the C.A. Smith Building parking lot to Independence Park. The Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture Youth Division Grand Bahama invites you to attend its Youth Recognition Awards on Saturday, October 21st, Freeport Bible Church at 6 p.m.
Have you ever wondered how electricity gets to your home? Let's start at the beginning. Our teams at our energy plant work around the clock to generate power to be delivered to your home or business. When it leaves the generating facility, electricity first travels to a switch yard that increases the voltage to allow it to travel long distances throughout the island. A network of high voltage transmission lines is the backbone of the electric grid and is used to carry large amounts of electricity across long distances. After completing the first leg of this journey, electricity arrives at the neighborhood substation. The substation's job is to lower the voltage before power can be sent over shorter distances closer to homes and businesses. Once lowered, the electricity is now ready for the final leg of its voyage. When it leaves the substation, it travels along the distribution poles and wires, the ones you see every day around your community. Just outside your home or business, the electricity voltage is further reduced by a pole mount transformer to a level that customers use in their homes or businesses. And now that the electricity has finally reached its destination, it travels through a meter, flows to a service panel, and then to the outlets inside your home. To learn more about how our business operates, visit our website or follow us on Facebook.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Randolette Roll, you are our Facebook friend of the day. She is one of our avid viewers, and she's just like family to our ZNS Northern Service team. We hope you had a great one. And that concludes the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. On behalf of the entire news team here in the North, I'm Ramiko Knowles. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to stay tuned. The Bahamas Tonight continues.
Coming up in the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, by-election nominations locked in. Optimism of EU blacklist removal. A deadly late-night collision. And in sports, disappointing end for Jonquil. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, starts now.
ZNS News is brought to you by the new BTC. Fiber is here. Faster, stronger, more reliable. Together, we are unstoppable. Switch today.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Makushla Pinder, and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Thanks for tuning in. When the much-anticipated West Grand Bahama and Bimini by-election will take place is still at this point a case of wait and see. What we can tell you is the Prime Minister will be guided by the Parliamentary Elections Act, which speaks to a House member either dying or becoming disqualified during any recess. In such a case, once informed, the Governor-General issues a writ for the election not less than 21 days, not more than 30 days, between the issuance and return of that writ. And that gives us a clear window as any right now of when West Grand Bahama and Bimini constituents will head to the polls. What we can more conclusively tell you is that nominations have been submitted to the major political parties with a decision to be made on who will carry each of their banner in hopes of coming out victorious. Our Desmond Saunders fills us in on how things played out at the governing party's Farrington Road headquarters earlier today.
Well, I'm here at the PLP headquarters, Farrington Road, where several PLP candidates hoping to get the nod of approval as the official PLP candidate for the West Grand Bahama and Bimini constituency in the upcoming by-election. Now, there are some 10 PLP candidates that are being interviewed today by the PLP's candidate committee. The matter will then go before the National General Council tomorrow for a decision. Several Grand Bahama and Bimini residents are present here today in support of their candidates. If you can look behind me, there are a number of supporters for Shane Gibson, and on my right, there are supporters for Kingsley Smith. Joining me on the broadcast today, I have a resident from Grand Bahama who's in support of Shane Gibson. Why Shane Gibson and why you're out here?
Shane Gibson is a more seasoned politician and experienced member of the Christie administration. He was minister in Christie's administration. The word that Obadiah left in the Brave administration needs a big man to fill that work. And so I am here in support of Shane Gibson.
What is Shane Gibson doesn't become ratified? It isn't the official bearer
then I think the people of West Grand Bahama and Bimini is going to speak loud, send a message to those who want to give us, they want to give us. We will sit this one out. And it all depends. We might even sit the general one or two. So they better give us who we want. And we want Shane Gibson.
Well, as you can tell, things are heating up for the candidacy for the West Grand Bahama and Bimini. I can tell you that there are 5,682 people registered to vote in that constituency. And so, as I said, things are heating up, and we'll just have to wait and see. But as it stands, 10 aspirants making applications and being interviewed today to be ratified as a PLP candidate for the West Grand Bahama and Bimini constituency. Back to you guys in the studio.
Well, thanks, Desmond. Meantime, a General Council meeting at the Free National Movement's Mackey Street headquarters to make its decision on the matter. Our Altavis Munnings has this preview. Good evening, Altavis.
Good evening, Makushla, and good evening, Bahamas. The Free National Movement's Mackey Street headquarters buzzing tonight as the members of the Central Council are officially ratifying their candidate for the upcoming West Grand Bahama and Bimini by-election over in Grand Bahama. While the date has not yet been announced by the Prime Minister, the opposition is getting ready for the campaign. Joining me now with more details on tonight's meeting is the Free National Movement's Secretary General, Sir Fent Roll. And Mr. Secretary General, first of all, tell us what the the Central Council is expected to, why are they meeting tonight? What's going to be discussed?
Good evening, Alto. Good evening, Bahamas. Tonight is a special call meeting of the Central Council. What we can expect tonight is to get a report from our executive committee of a recommendation for council to ratify a candidate for the impending by-election in West Grand Bahama and Bimini.
How many members of the Central Council are expected to meet tonight?
Well, we anticipate that there will be many persons. We have a very large Central Council, a very active Central Council, and we anticipate that there will be at least 75% of the council here at this meeting tonight. People are excited. People are ready to go to West Grand Bahama and Bimini to encourage them to vote for the Free National Movement's candidate. There's been a lot of interest. We've gotten a lot of WhatsApp phone calls, people passing by right now on the street honking their horns and letting us know that we have their support.
My final question, I know nominations for the Free National Movement's candidates for the upcoming by-election ended at 5 o'clock on Tuesday. Are you able to give us a hint on how many people nominated?
Well, I can tell you that that was a recommendation period that ended at 5 p.m. on Tuesday. Officially, there was one person who did put forth their name, who's come highly and heavily recommended. And so I can tell you that this person's been working in that area prior to this occasion. And I think that there are others who may have been interested, and they are equally qualified, I'm sure. But really and truly, this person has been preparing for this moment, not knowing that it would come so soon, but has been prepared. And so we look forward to hearing more about that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's the Free National Movement Secretary General, Sir Fent Roll. Please stay tuned right here to the ZNS Network for the official announcement of the Free National Movement's candidate for the upcoming West Grand Bahama and Bimini by-election. Reporting from the Free National Movement's Mackey Street headquarters for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Altaviz Munnings. Back to you, Makushla.
Well, thanks, Alto. And as you just heard, this is a developing story that we will continue to follow for you. In related news, there are no plans to introduce electronic voting, but Acting Parliamentary Commissioner Arthur Taylor says there are plans for a more user-friendly voters card, hopefully within the next 2 years. Taylor says it's an ongoing process that he met in place, suggesting it will be similar to the current driver's license.
They're well on the way to modernizing it to I think, a credit card size card. And we will speak to that shortly, because I think that they're rounding that off now, and that should be able to be launched by the next local government elections. And the process itself, I don't think is going to change anytime soon. I think you're well aware that when you create a machine to vote, someone is in their basement creating a way to get into it.
Well, the parliamentary commissioner adding that the department has never been asked to look at anything regarding electronic voting, but has been moving to update the overall process.
With the new card, you'll go online to apply for your voter's card through the portal, rather than just walking in here and saying you want to register. You put your documents online, and we'll give you an appointment date to come in to do it. So it'll be just a flowing thing rather than the long lines, you see. And with the permanent register, it makes it easier for those persons. Just the only thing that will have to happen is persons who are presently registered will have to come in just to get their pictures taken again, and probably be some biometrics we're adding to it, facial recognition, probably fingerprints according to how they decided. And that's the only thing you'll have to do again.
Still to come, the traffic fatality count climbs. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the national report. There's more news in a moment.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Folk Call Smart Pass, the smart way to pay at the pump.
You have enough things to worry about. Living in a world that can seem opposite of the things you're trying to accomplish. We're here to let you know that you don't have to go at it alone. Choose peace of mind. Choose comfort. Choose CB. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
The new KFC nuggets have arrived. That unlike the no-gets, ours are handmade using 100% white meat. Unlike the no-gets, at KFC, we hand bread every day to achieve the perfect flavor. After you try our delicious and crispy nuggets in the original recipe, you'll never settle for less. KFC, the real nuggets. It's finger-licking good.
Trouble, it might drag you down. If you get lost, you can always be found. Just know you're not alone. 'Cause I'm gonna make this place your home.
Each day is special when you save at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets. Sawyer's mayonnaise, 30 ounce, $2.99. Campbell's Chunky Soups, 19 ounce, $3.19. Fresh tomatoes, $1.99 per pound. Amalanda milk, 1 liter, 2 for $2.50. Danish spare ribs, $2.79 per pound. October's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Together, we can make a difference. Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
Make your company representative stand out through an embroidery design on your uniforms from Janae's Uniform Center, Chesapeake Road. Janae's utilizes the latest state-of-the-art embroidery technology to monogram large and small quantities of shirts, caps, bags, and other articles. If you don't already have a digitized logo, Janae's can design and digitize your idea and bring it to life. Then install the logo of your choice from their large selections of 27 stock colors of golf shirts in cotton or dry fit, caps, or workwear. Call 394-8385 or 6 or visit www.janaes.com.
CARICOM's Eminent Persons Group to return to Haiti by month's end. Prime Minister the Honourable Philip Davis noting as much during his address yesterday to a Canada-CARICOM summit that sought to tackle a number of pressing issues impacting both that country and the Caribbean, Haiti one of them. The EPG's mandate is to map a path to free and fair elections and a longer-term solution for stability in Haiti, whose situation has rapidly deteriorated. Just today, the United Nations Security Council renewed its sanctions regime against Haiti for another year. The sanctions, in effect since October 2022, include an arms embargo, asset freezes, and travel bans. However, Haiti's UN Ambassador Antonio Rodriguez has expressed optimism that the renewal would effectively contribute to the restoration of a secure climate in Haiti. Well, Economic Affairs Minister, Senator the Honourable Michael Halkitis says aggressive steps are being taken to have the Bahamas removed from the European Union's blacklist. And this after the body determined that the Bahamas was non-compliant on a number of issues. The Forum on Harmful Tax Practices determined there were still some things the Bahamas needed to do to become compliant. Minister Halkitis indicating during today's OPM press briefing that those changes have been made.
That Forum on Harmful Tax Practices has a meeting next week, which we will be attending, myself along with a team from the legal unit of the Ministry of Finance. And at that point, we will be able to give a report to that forum on the things that we have done. And we are cautiously optimistic that the steps will then be taken for them to deem us compliant. And following that, when the EU has their next meeting, we are looking forward to be able to have a favorable outcome from them.
Mr. Halkitis says consensus is building in the region that the issue of who is compliant or non-compliant should be moved into the hands of the United Nations, a more independent arbiter.
I do not think that jurisdictions who are in competition with us and other jurisdictions in terms of financial services should be the judge and the jury of who's being compliant in terms of their tax standards. As a matter of fact, there's an initiative, there should have been a meeting on this coming Monday in Barbados to discuss that very issue. Unfortunately, that meeting has been postponed, but there is momentum building in the region, in what we call the global south, in certain places in Africa, and the east, that we need to change this calculation, who determines who is compliant from non-compliant.
Well, the latest information on cybersecurity shared during a symposium, a joint initiative of the Ministry of Finance and the Organization of American States. Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry of Economic Affairs, Senator the Honorable Wade Watson, says the forum ties into the government's digitization agenda.
This symposium will provide entities from the public and the private sector the opportunities to demonstrate their products, their tools, and their services while engaging with counterparts and leaders in the cybersecurity space. It is expected that the conference will include innovative technological activities to engage the participants and raise their understanding and appreciation of cybersecurity. The government is advancing full-fledged with its digitalization efforts.
Watson further stressing that cybersecurity plays a pivotal role in the government's push to enhance the ease of doing business in the country.
Therefore, the government is in the process of completing and revamping the government's official website. We are also continuing the process of finalizing the framework for procurement for the National Digital EID for Bahamians and legal residents. We are working on bringing more services online, and our digitization efforts within government continues to increase as we seek to digitize more government records.
University of the Bahamas students now have the opportunity to learn about fintech thanks to an exclusive 5-year licensing agreement between the Securities Commission and the University of Cambridge in the United Kingdom. The license offers a Bahamas contextualization modification feature, allowing the referencing of Bahamas-specific case studies and developments. This collaboration is in keeping with the government's strategy, as laid out in its policy white paper, The Future of Digital Assets in the Bahamas, to expand sector-specific education opportunities to enable Bahamians to secure positions in the industry. The official signing taking place during last week's inaugural D3 Bahamas and FinTech Conference at the Atlantis Paradise Island Resort. In news from the police this evening, a deadly collision, now the focus of an active investigation here in the capital. Reports are that a male motorcyclist, believed to be in his late 20s, collided with a heavy-duty Mack truck at the junction of Golden Isles and Carmichael Roads after midnight. Head of the Traffic Division is Chief Superintendent David Lockhart.
On arrival, responding officers found a Mack truck and a motorcycle that had collided. As a result of that collision, the motorcyclist was pinned under the Mack truck. He received serious injuries. EMS responded to the scene and pronounced the body lifeless. As a result of this crash, it marks the 45th traffic fatality for this year and the second traffic fatality involving a motorcyclist within days.
Police also cutting loose the identities of the victims of Monday's double traffic fatality on East Street South near Calvary Deliverance Church. They are 27-year-old DeAndre Stephen Woodside and 37-year-old Rashan Rowe, both of Nassau Village. Police initially reported that the male driver of a 2007 blue Mitsubishi was traveling south when he attempted to overtake a car traveling in the same direction, colliding head-on with a black Yamaha motorcycle occupied by 3 people heading north. In other news this evening, Bahamas Crisis Center Director and lifelong children's advocate Dr. Sandra Dean Patterson is urging the public to not let the polarizing and contentious issue of abortion move the focus of protecting children from abuse. She was responding outside a symposium for girls to questions about the recent cases of abortion charges being brought to court. Abortion, she says, is the end result following a very traumatic experience to a child. She reminded that it is all of duty to ensure the innocence of children is protected.
No, I think we should not be as concerned about the abortion issue as the fact that this was a child who was sexually assaulted, sexually violated, and became pregnant as a result of it. And our thrust has to be to protect children. The mantra of the Crisis Center is that all that has to happen for evil to survive and thrive is that good people do nothing. So let's all do something to stop the chaos that's happening in our country.
Life at Key International School confirming the passing of their beloved principal, Dr. David Midroff, this morning. A release touting Midroff as one who was deeply committed to the school's growth and development for many years, serving as principal since 2019. The Life at Key School community's thoughts and prayers are with the Midroff family and each member of its school community grieving during this sad time. Marcellus Hall joins us in studio with a check on what's coming up in sports. Marcellus?
Coming up in sports for this evening, disappointing end to the season for Jonquel Jones and the New York Liberty. We'll tell you exactly how it happened just ahead in sports.
The fastest fiber covering the Bahamas. Do more, pay more, stream more with BTC.
I'm Corvell Pyfrom. We're on the road with our fiber tech team as we take fiber directly to you, our customers. The day is a part of our inaugural Customer Experience Day, which also included a customer listening session.
We just experienced our first Customer Experience Day, which is actually celebrated globally. It gave us an opportunity to work with those different departments because our team is really behind the scenes, but they were now up front and center working with the teams to understand what really happens in the field.
One of the most interesting aspects about the field day today was the diversity in the field. So I got to ride along with Tracy Christie, and it was girl power to the fullest.
Today I repaired a fiber drop that was damaged by a truck. In order for me to repair this job, I would have to bring a new fiber drop to replace the old one that was damaged by the truck. Then after I already attach it to the pole, I'd have to attach it to the service mast at the home. Then I would resplice it, and then a service would just come up automatically.
It definitely gives me a broader scope, so I'm able to arm the customer with more information.
I would say the highlight of today's event was definitely the listening session, where we invited a few of our customers and non-customers in for a listening session so that they could explain to us, one, what were some of the experiences that they encountered with us, and that gave us an opportunity to really hear some of the good and the raw truth, because that's where we actually find those hidden gems, where we know how we can improve or where we need to improve and where we need to focus moving forward.
Our inaugural Customer Experience Day was a smashing success. Meeting customers, sharing and showing them how they save more with BTC and a support team that's there when they need it. I'm Corvell Pyfrom. Be well and be back here next. BTC Connection.
Hey, it's your honorary pump attendant here to educate you on the do's and don'ts at the service station. Here's what you don't do. Do not pull up from the pump without first checking that the nozzle has been removed from your car. Because if you pop this, that's about $600,000 to $30,000 to replace. These things ain't cheap. What you want to do is make sure that the nozzle has been removed, or just wait for the universal sign, which is the double tap.
Here at Solomon's, we don't just believe in great brands. We believe in creating unforgettable memories and celebrating everyday living with you and your family. Every aisle is filled with all you need. A great value with variety and a selection of all your favorite groceries and products. Saving you time and keeping you on a budget. Great food changes everything. Shop at your local Solomon's for food, for family, for you.
Introducing the Focal Smart Pass app that helps you to fuel up faster. Here's how it works. Download the app on the App Store or get it on Google Play and create your profile with payment details. Visit your nearest Shell station, open the app, scan the pump's QR code. select your payment amount, and begin fueling. Say goodbye to cash and cards because the Focal Smart Pass offers secure and convenient payment options right at your fingertips. Download Focal Smart Pass now and fuel up faster today.
This is a very important issue, and we've been talking about it for years, and we have allowed a predominant impetus. I call it greed. That's my word. We've allowed that to mandate how things are not done, and we are paying a price.
Climate change affects us all, and North Eleuthera High School head girl Kezia Johnson sought to bring awareness to scores of young public primary and high school students at the recent inaugural Climate Change Guardians workshop hosted by UNESCO.
What can the youth do to mitigate climate change? Well, there is a myriad of ways we can reduce our carbon footprints, and they can include conserving energy, decreasing the use of paper and plastic, and the proper disposal of waste. So instead of purchasing 4 bottles every day of water at the tuck shop and then tossing them into the trash, purchase a reusable bottle, preferably a metal one that keeps your water cool all day. Another way of reducing our waste is through composting. Composting is the process of recycling organic matter, such as, like you mentioned, fruit and vegetable scraps, coffee grounds and paper filters, tea leaves and bags, along with eggshells are all foods that are used when composting. And compost enhances our soil and hosts a vast amount of species. Essentially, chlorofluorocarbons, when released, damage our ozone layers by placing holes in the layer, allowing harmful ultraviolet rays to enter. So using ceiling fans is a better option in the long run to save electricity and limit the amount of CFCs that are released.
I'm Adama Williams for Ed Talk.
Hey, Mom, can you look after Kaylee?
Sorry, I'll be out for a while dealing with my home and car insurance.
What? You know there's a newer way, right?
A new way?
Where have you been? Look, go to newerinsurance.com, log in, get your quote, buy your insurance, done. You can even use it to manage a claim.
Oh? By the way, it's not newer. It's N-U-A. Where's she been?
Do it anyway with NUA Insurance Agents and Brokers.
There's still much debate over the proposed $29 million Gladstone Road improvement project set to start in the first quarter of 2024 and its impact on residents, businesses and churches once land acquisitions and other challenges have been ironed out. ZNS News caught up with President of the Bahamas Christian Council, Apostle Delton Fernanda, whose church, New Destiny, will also be impacted by the scope of work. Bishop Fernando says he's overly concerned about the frequency and distance of roundabouts on the busy thoroughfare.
If there's not a verge for people to exit smoothly into the sanctuary, most fourways are one-way traffic in both directions. So if people have to pass New Destiny and go a long distance to come back round, it will mean that the engineers will have to take into consideration that if they were considering 2 roundabouts, there might need to be 4 or 6, so that persons don't have to go a long way to get back to where they want to go on the thoroughfare, especially as it develops in terms of business.
More tonight from Bishop Leish Boyd's charge during the opening service of the Anglican Synod. At the time, the Anglican head lamented the return of VAT on bread basket items, reiterating the call for its removal.
This is so that we can allow the poorer among us to eat better and more economically than they now do. I am not an economist or a business person, and so my perspective may not help the bottom line, or any number of benchmarks that the business world legitimately may need to meet. But we have to take measures to help the circumstances and to improve the living conditions of our people. Times are too hard. And while this may not be the solution, we have to find measures to take the load off, because we know that the price of everything has increased.
Charismatic religious leader Bishop Lawrence Rolle is tonight calling on the powers that be to give careful consideration to the person who will be appointed the new social services minister. The position left vacant due to the death of former cabinet minister Obi Wilchcombe. Bishop Rolle believes Wilchcombe's replacement should be committed to helping the poor.
I pray God, as a religious leader and as a man of God, that the Lord would raise up a person who would sit in that seat of social service that would reach out to all mankind. No food. As I prayed yesterday, it come to me, no food racism. We don't want nobody to, well, you didn't vote for me, so no. I am not responsible for being hungry, all right? Hunger could come on anybody. And when an individual is hungry, they can find themselves doing some things that don't make too much sense. And we don't want that. So I pray, God, that our Prime Minister would pick somebody who knows what the people are going through, feel what the people are going through. You don't want a minister to sit in that seat. You're calling them 10 and 15 and 20 and 30 times.
Bishop Rolle says donations are still needed to assist with this decades-long feeding program held every week at the church on 2nd Street, The Grove.
I live in the community and I feel the pain of the people. They gather here, they come through the rain. Sometimes it's raining up to 10, 11 o'clock. I said, Lord, they ain't coming today, but I can still try to cook. Man, when I look, Jesus, Lord, the people got umbrella round the door. These are real people. And some they don't have it like that. I see them going through them old clothes. I say, Jesus, the children pushing to get a hot meal.
In case you missed the news or want to stay ahead, subscribe to our YouTube channel or follow us on X, TikTok, Instagram, or Facebook.
Hello, everyone. This is Tony Williams back with a special promotion for BahamasAir.com and GoGo Florida. The $100 deposit is back, but it's only on your debit card. So whether you're renting that sedan, SUV, or spacious minivan for group or family trips, keep your cash in your pocket. Only Dollar Thrifty is making it convenient for you. Your $100 deposit held on your debit card. Available at Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Palm Beach, and Orlando. Book early and save your 8-passenger minivan for your holiday shopping spree.
You've got termites and need to get rid of them fast? Trust Rent-A-Kill Initial. With over 60 years experience in the Bahamas, the global brand, training, and expertise can't be beat. Only Rent-A-Kill Initial gives you a 3-year warranty and payment plan options on termite fumigation. No one can match the range of treatments we offer, such as fumigation, pre-construction treatments, termite monitoring, and more. No matter where you are in the Bahamas, we will come to you. When it comes to complete termite eradication, there's only one name, Rent-A-Kill Initial.
Phil Swift here for the FlexSeal family of flood protection products. Our flood protection products are specifically designed to work together in order to create multiple layers of super strong protection. All these windows, doors, seams, and openings have all been sealed up tight. Now there's a new way to protect your home or business from damaging floodwaters. Get the removable Flex Seal family of flood protection products.
Students today exercising their right to vote by participating in the junior local government council elections. Our Corval Pyfrom visited a few of the polling centers around the islands and has this report.
If it is one thing that is certain, this junior local government council election process has sparked the political bug in these students.
Once they understood what the process is, the excitement took over, and so they're geared up to see the process take flight.
From Central Eleuthera to Freeport and 8 Mile Rock High School in Grand Bahama.
I intend to renovate the school's bathroom and fix the school's kitchen.
All across the country, a total of 39 schools, only one in New Providence, participated in this relaunched junior local government council election process. The program for Works and Family Island Affairs Minister Clay Sweeting is near and dear, and so he spent this election day visiting a number of schools, or should we say polling centers, on Grand Bahama and Eleuthera.
I think it was over 6,400 children across the country that registered, that participated today, and they're excited. I mean, this is an initiative that I didn't get when I was in school. I started in local government. When I was 21, I ran, and now, I'm minister of local government. So, you never know where life could take you, but to start with this initiative is something that we're excited about.
Does the chief counselor get a red plate or a driver?
You want to get, maybe they can have mine.
Minister Sweeting believes that there are tremendous gains to be had from getting these students at an early point introduced, engaged, and involved in the local government process. From Central Eleuthera, for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Corval Pyfrom.
Meantime, Exuma has seen an 11% growth in tourism over 2022, with this year's numbers also 21% over 2019. Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, the Honourable Chester Cooper, addressing the 17th Annual Exuma Business Outlook Thursday, says that island's economy is holding its own on the tourism front. He says the island, constrained only by its capacity, has become one of the fastest-growing economic centres. It's with that in mind that Fidelity Bank will soon begin operations on the island to provide much-needed service for the unbanked.
Banks across the Family Islands have been retrenching, moving, leaving us without what I consider to be an essential service. And therefore, I am thankful that Fidelity and another local business saw the wisdom and had the vision to collaborate, to bring banking for the future for the island of Exuma. And I want you to give Fidelity Bank a round of applause. This will allow residents to conduct banking transactions without having to travel to another family island or to New Providence, and hopefully they're going to make sure that the ATM machines work.
The island's Member of Parliament also sharing that Exuma, which has attracted some $1.5 billion in approved projects like the multi-million-dollar Cave Key investment, currently enjoys 100% employment and requires labor. He says those developments presently need to hire between 400 to 500 construction workers, but there is nowhere for them to live or eat. Cooper adding that construction on the Exuma International Airport will begin in due course, with the money already secured.
Our MP negotiated the money to ensure that not just Georgetown is done, but Black Point, we're going to have a new runway there, 5,000 to 6,000 feet. We're going to be able to land small jets right there. There's something special about what's going to happen at Black Point. Remember, I told you this. We're going to develop the new airport at Staniel Key, new runways, new FBO, and we're going to develop a small terminal similar to what we did in Ragged Island at Farmers Key as well. So no part of Exuma or Ragged Island is going to be left untouched.
Well, as Grand Bahama prepares for a by-election, Shane Gibson, who's hoping to secure the PLP's banner for the West Grand Bahama and Bimini seat, this evening issued a letter requesting that the party's Secretary General on Friday, at its Friday's meeting of the National General Council, selection of candidates be conducted in accordance with Article 1047 of the PLP's Constitution. And that requires the NGC to be allowed to vote by secret ballot on the approval of candidates. Gibson making it clear that he believes that by doing so, the PLP's internal democracy will be preserved and perceived by all to be fair and transparent. That said, we go back to our Desmond Saunders, who is standing live at the PLP's headquarters on Farrington Road for an update.
Well, Makisla, activity has dwindled out here at the PLP headquarters, Farrington Road. Earlier today, there were a throng of support.
Well, we hope to hear more from our Desmond Saunders perhaps later in our newscast. But again, we can assure you that it's a developing story that we will continue to follow for you. In the meantime, we'll take a look at what's happening in Family Island weather. And for that, we turn to Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Commissioner. Outside of our studios, mostly cloudy skies, temperature 82 degrees, the relative humidity at 69%. We have northeast winds at 7 miles per hour, the barometric pressure of 1,013.6 millibars. That's 29.93 inches. And your temperatures around the Family of Islands this evening, they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 77 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, and Greenville Key in Abaco. Marshall, Abaco, 76 degrees in the Berry Islands, 80 degrees. Alice Bimini at 83. Harbor Island, 80, 83 in Rocktown, Eleuthera, and Black Point Exuma. Also, Camp Space on Andros and Fresh Creek at Central Andros registering 83 degrees. 83s again in Otterstown, Cat Island, San Salvador, and Room Key, Georgetown, Exuma, 84, 83 in Ragged Island, Clarencetown, Long Island, and Crooked Island, Betsy Bay, Maguana, 82, Acklands, 82, Matchitown, Unagua, 84, and the Turks and Caicos Islands also at 84 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Pinkstetter. In the northwestern islands, northeast to east winds, those speeds just around 10 to 15 knots. The wave heights 2 to 4 feet. Your high tide, that will occur at 11:50 tonight. Now for the central and southeastern islands, easterly winds 10 to 15 knots, wave heights 2 to 4 feet. And as we take you into Friday and Saturday for the northwestern parts of our country, initially the winds will be southwest to west. They will be switching northwest behind a frontal system which is heading our way. We'll tell you all about that later in the newscast. But the speeds, they will remain around 10 to 15 knots with the wave heights 2 to 4 feet. Now, the low tide on Friday will take place at 5:53 in the morning, with the high tide occurring at 12:25 in the afternoon. For the central and southeastern islands, Friday through Saturday, light and variable winds with flat seas 1 to 3 feet. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they are brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. That's going to do it for your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned, your extended weather forecast is still ahead.
When you combine decadence, luxury, passion, and attention to detail, you've described Café Channy Noël and Patisserie. Signature authentic French macarons, croissants, pastries for breakfast and lunch will take you on a European Epicurean journey. Enjoy your favorite handcrafted cocktails, coffees, cappuccinos, espressos, and lattes. Life is sweet at Café Channy Noël.
Secure the ones that you love. Join up with Family Guardian. We offer full protection. Join the family. Join the family. Family Guardian. Protect the ones you love. A friend that you can trust. Family Guardian.
The ball is back, and the ball is the Red Ribbon Ball, the 27th annual Red Ribbon Ball in aid of the Bahamas AIDS Foundation. And the theme this year is 1001 Arabian Nights.
Zaymer is a proud supporter of the AIDS Foundation and the Red Ribbon Ball. Over the years, we found that what we do best creates an atmosphere for people to open up their pocket.
Well, at John Bull, we believe in the work of the AIDS Foundation. You know, I've been told whenever you see that little blue bag, it brings excitement. Well, we're going to have lots of blue bags at this year's Red Ribbon Ball, and we have no doubt that it will be fabulous.
So at Alive Business, we're extremely excited to be a part of the Red Ribbon Ball once again this year, and that we're able to contribute $10,000 towards the success of this program.
As Commonwealth Brewery, we're more than proud to partner with the Bahamas AIDS Foundation. We're going to provide our best wines to entertain and bring the right atmosphere to the group.
So we at Wildflowers are thrilled that the ball is back, and we're very excited to be able to contribute to this event by decorating the Arabian Nights more beautiful than ever before.
With the help of our authorized financial institutions, or AFIs, using sand dollars is as easy as 1, 2, 3.
Step 1. Identify your preferred AFI by browsing their websites or contacting them directly. Step 2. Download the free mobile application from Google Play or the Apple Store and then register for a sand dollar account. Step 3. Load money onto your mobile app and begin sending and receiving sand dollars or purchasing and selling goods and services.
We are pleased to be
your central bank approved
digital wallet providers. It does not matter
which of us you choose.
You can pay for goods and services
wherever sand dollar is accepted.
We are all in this together.
Visit sanddollar.bs for more information.
Good to grow. Keeping you in the know. Keeping you in the know. God, that's good enough to eat, then it's good to grow. It's good enough to eat, then it's good to grow.
Discussions on cannabis took center stage last week as leaders from across the region and members of the public gathered under one roof at the Caribbean Week of Agriculture 2023, held at the Super Club Breezes Resort. Agriculture and Marine Resources Minister Jomo Campbell says it was an enlightening experience.
I think what happens far too often is, we discuss things and then we come back and we talk to people or we tell the people this is what we have discussed and this is the way forward. But last night, what we had was an opportunity to hear from everyone, hear their points of view. Not everyone who came supported cannabis medicinally or even scientifically, but it's good to have their input because at the end of the day, we are government for the people. All of my colleagues here represent the government from their home countries and represent their citizens. And so last night was the launch of something truly exciting.
And of all the opinions presented, Minister Campbell says this perspective stuck to him the most.
One of our panelists, Ms. Ashpole from Jamaica, made it quite clear that whilst we are getting caught up in the excitement of it all, being a new industry, and we're now able to benefit from something that was pretty much taboo, we can't forget the whole intellectual property aspect of it. If we're going to be exporting medicinal marijuana that was grown in Eleuthera, those farmers in Eleuthera have rights to what is going to be exported to Canada, to US, to Switzerland, because these things will be marketed and used for profit, for economic gain. There's so many byproducts that can be used. People just tend to think about the fun recreational part of it, but the hemp byproducts. So we want to ensure that our farmers, our business persons who are getting into this industry, don't miss them. We don't want this to be seen as something where only the high and mighty even benefit. As you know, people tend to think it's normally the case with anything that takes place, but we want persons to understand that the traditional farmers, the traditional entrepreneurs who have a stake in this industry.
He also emphasizes the importance of collaboration within the region in this vein.
One of the panelists, Minister Saboto Caesar, indicated that sometimes as smaller nations we flex our muscles and then bigger nations flex back. But if we all flex collectively, there's strength and unity, and I think that's a key takeout of this week of agriculture sessions.
Keeping you in the know with Good to Grow, I'm Leah Cooper.
This is ZNS Total Sports. ZNS Total Sports brought to you by Sans Beer, who reminds you to recycle your beer bottles for cash in Nassau, Grand Bahama, and now Abaco and Eleuthera. Well, welcome to your ZNS Total Sports Check on a Thursday, everybody. I'm Marcellus Hall. Last night, it was do or die time for Jonquel Jones and the New York Liberty as they faced the Las Vegas Aces in Game 4 of the WNBA's best-of-5 series. Now, the Liberty, they were down 2-1 in that series, trying to force a deciding Game 5. Meanwhile, Aces looking to close it out and repeat as back-to-back champions for the first time in 21 years. Now, Vegas playing without starters Chelsea Gray and Kia Stokes, both injured in Game 3. This one, though, would be extremely tight down the stretch. Game tied at 64, Vegas scoring 6 straight points to make it a 6-point lead with 1:26 left to play. Liberty would respond. They cut the lead to 1. Closing seconds, Liberty with a chance, but missing the shot at the buzzer. Aces with the win, 70-69. Rough night for our girl Jonquel offensively, scoring just 6 points in the contest. She would have 11 rebounds and 3 blocks, but no championship as the season ends in disappointment. BISS Senior Boys softball action yesterday. Defending champions Nassau Christian Schools versus Kingsway Academy. This one, boy, would be a dandy. Let's pick it up in the bottom of the third inning. NCAA up 11-0. Highlighted by this grand slam home run by center fielder Nicholas Knowles. Kingsway would score 9 runs. They pull within 2, 11-9. Fast forward now to the top of the 6th with NCS down 16-17. Darkness looming. 1 out. NCS would score 2 runs to take the lead, 18-17. Head coach Ainsworth Beckersworth, he orchestrated 2 outs in the bottom of the top of the half of the 6th inning. At that point, the umpire ended the game due to darkness. Victory for NCS, right? Wrong. Kingsway wins it 17-16. Say what? Losing coach and convener for BISS softball, Ainsworth Beckford, he explains the outcome.
The rule that we have for BASS is that the 5th inning is a regulation inning. Once the 5th inning is completed, the game is now regulation. Therefore, a result will be attained. The umpire allowed us to play the top of the 6th, where NCA batted. We scored our runs. We went ahead in the runs chase, and then the umpire called the game without allowing Kingsway to bat. Because of that, the inning was not completed. Therefore, the rules dictate that you must revert to the last completed inning, which was the 5th inning, and therefore Kingsway was leading at the end of that inning, 17-16. And therefore, they are awarded the game as the winners for the game.
Now, Beckford disappointed with the outcome, saying his team, however, will bounce back.
A challenge now because the boys are very disappointed because they witnessed what happened this evening. And it's going to be taking a lot of time for me to talk to them tomorrow, trying to calm them down because we have another important game on Friday against Temple Christian. It's going to take a lot of counseling and talking to them and reason with them and let them know that, hey, the game is not over. This is not a championship. The championship is what will determine who is the winner for the senior boys in BASS, and therefore we will just continue. We are still in good position, so we will do very well at the end of the season.
Winning coach Marco Lightburn elated with the remarkable comeback from a heated game, and he says his team now looking pretty good.
I am pleased. The guys show that we have heart today. It's a winning mentality we produce here. And we fight and we fight. I'd rather go down fighting if we did lost than go down not scoring anything. So we're able to come out victorious in this one and realize that we are the top team now.
Well, the New Province Volleyball Association had action last night at the Donald Davis Gym. Spikers and Lady Warhawks playing in the ladies opener. Spikers taking the first set 26-24, then the second set 25-23. Lady Warhawks, though, they would bounce back to take set 3 26-24, but that would be it. The Spikers closing it out 25-19 in the fourth set to win the match 3-1. Now in the men's feature, Intruders taking on the Technicians there. Technicians win set 1 25-14. Intruders bounce back. They win set 2 25-13. But it would be the Technicians winning sets 3 and 4, 25-8 and 25-23. They secure the win 3-1. On to some softball with the New Province Softball Association with 2 games on the agenda for tonight. That's going to be at the Bankers Field. 7 o'clock, UB Mingos. They take on the Lady Scorpions, the Black Scorpions, in ladies play. That'll be followed by your men's feature contest tonight. Chances Mighty Mets going up against the Cybertech Blue Marlins. And that's it. Your look at sports for you here on this Thursday. Don't go anywhere. We do have that Thursday look at the weather. That is just ahead.
ZNS Total Sports brought to you by Sans Beer, who reminds you to recycle your beer bottles for cash in Nassau, Grand Bahama, and now Abaco and Eleuthera.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
Car insurance, home insurance, marine insurance, this insurance, that insurance. The truth is, you may not like it very much, but you need insurance, and it has to work for you. That's why Summit insurance policies are designed with you and your life in mind, fitting your lifestyle and needs perfectly. So you can rest comfortably knowing that your car, home, boat, and business are well taken care of. Contact our agents at Insurance Management today. Summit Insurance. We peak above all others.
Hey, it's your honorary pump attendant back again with another episode on the do's and don'ts at the service station. Let's go. What you ain't gonna do is just pull up to any dispenser and put the nozzle inside your car without reading the signs. Because if you put the wrong fuel inside your car and the car mess up, you can be mad at us, all right? And then you have to walk or catch bus for about 3 to 18 months. What you're supposed to do is read the signs. We place signs all over the dispenser to tell you which fuel is which. Because you put the wrong one and your car say bop, and you could be mad at us. You could be, oh, what happened to my car? No, it's you who ain't read. It say diesel, diesel, one word, diesel. Your car up, and you mad at us. Read, that's all you have to do.
First we plan, then we innovate, then we build. At Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, we are committed to quality, to safety, and to service. We know that the road you take is just as important as your final destination. At Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, it is our job to make sure the road and the ride are as smooth as possible. From striping roads to building them, we are the right choice, the trusted choice, the only choice to help you build your tomorrow.
The most important thing in life is family. And whenever you need reliable advice, you look to the people you know you can trust. At J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers, we earn our clients' trust every day. Whether it's home, motor, travel, or commercial insurance, we've got you covered. Call 397-2100 or visit jsjohnson.com.
JS Johnson Insurance, peace of mind.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather, Tropical Storm Tammy, some 200 miles to the east of Barbados, moving towards the west-northwest at 13 miles per hour, maximum sustained winds at 60 miles per hour, and we anticipate some further intensification as it approaches the northern Leeward Islands over the next couple of days as it makes that turn towards the north, and that should keep it well away from the Bahamas, so no problem there for us at all. And then satellite pictures showing quite a bit of cloudiness over the Bahamas, and that's associated with an old frontal boundary right now across the central Bahamas. That will eventually back up towards the north as a warm front, so you will see an increase in cloudiness and shower activity over the next 24 hours. taking us right into Friday night with some of those showers being heavy at times. That frontal system will then start pushing back towards the south. So by Saturday, we'll see some clearing of the skies and some slightly cooler temperatures. Tonight is going to be cloudy, warm with an evening shower in spots, followed by a couple of thunderstorms developing late into the night. Your low temperature around 76 degrees. And tomorrow, a couple of thunderstorms again, particularly in the morning hours. Otherwise, cloudy conditions again tomorrow with your high temperature at 80 degrees. And your extended weather forecast, pretty wet tomorrow as a result of that frontal system. But as we promised you, things will clear up on Saturday as that frontal system pushes towards the south. And we'll see temperatures finding their way back into the upper 60s on Sunday. And then that warming trend should begin by the middle of next week. Makishla.
Well, thanks, Basil. And before we leave, just to update you on how things are developing at the two major parties' headquarters. Just recently, the Free National Movement released a profile pic and biography of Ricardo Grant. As you heard earlier from our Altavis Munnings, the party confirmed the nomination of just one person to run on its ticket in the West Grand Bahama and Bimini constituency. A little more complex over in the PLP's camp, where there are 10 people reportedly vying for that ratification over there. Our Desmond Saunders is standing by with the latest. Desmond?
Well, I can tell you that 10 PLP aspirants for the West Grand Bahama and Bimini constituency being interviewed here at the PLP headquarters, many of them trying to get the nod of approval and to be ratified as the official PLP candidate for West Grand Bahama and Bimini. Earlier this afternoon, a throng of supporters representing those candidates, many of them carrying placards and very vocal and passionate about the upcoming by-election. I had an opportunity to speak to the acting parliamentary commissioner, Arthur Tilley. He tells me that the West Grand Bahama and Bimini by-election must happen by November 25th. There are 5,682 people registered to vote in that constituency. So things are heating up. Activity is building. Excitement is building as many of the PLP supporters rally in support of their candidates. Some 10 PLP aspirants, as I told you earlier. Now, if my cameraman can just show you what's happening behind me, there's a full force of Royal Bahamas Police Force officers out here to ensure a smooth and secure process. As I said earlier today, a number of candidates were here. A number of supporters were here to support those 10 PLP aspirants, those candidates. Activity has dwindled, but excitement is still alive and well among PLP's supporters. So that's what's happening here at the PLP headquarters, Farrington Road. Desmond Saunders, The Bahamas Tonight.
Well, thanks, Desmond. We hope to have more from the PLP and the FNM on their candidates and perhaps from their leaders in tomorrow's newscast. For now, that does it for the Bahamas Tonight. But before we leave, we want to wish a very happy birthday to our Gerald Coakley, who turns the big 2-1 today. So, Gerald, happy birthday from all of us here. And for our viewers, thank you for continuing to make ZNS your first choice for news and information. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. From all of us here at ZNS, thank you for watching and good night.